What's up everyone, and this is week number 9 of 23 weeks of growing food. We have new chicks. These are about 23 chicks. Guys, these chicks are a week. They hatched on the 16th. That's when I went to pick them. It was supposed to be 60, but this guy's incubator had issues, so only 23 came out. I was supposed to get 70 chicks from him. He only got 23 out of 100 and is it 160, 180 or something like that. So he lost all these eggs. So he told me he took the machine back. Let's wait for the next one. We hope the next one will be successful. So we brought the 23. They're here, they're a week old, in a very simple setup for them. And they're running away. That means there's a draft here, there's some wind. So I'm just going to cover this up so that they're comfortable. And these other guys are doing well. They are big. Look at them. These guys just downed a kilogram of food today. Man, we have a lot of corn. See all this corn? We're putting it in the greenhouse here to dry. You want it to be both hot to dry it out, but also aerated so that it carries the moisture away. You don't want the moisture staying under the corn, like under here. So we have this one. There's some corn that I have not yet finished taking out from the garden because we just haven't gotten time. And so that's so we haven't gotten time to take that corn out. The onions are doing well. We see the new onions that I replanted after the others fell are coming out. Some of these weeds that I just pull out like this, but this one's many of those. But you can see there's a good growth from the onions, and I like that growth. We have a lot of corn. We're waiting for it to dry until we think it's dry enough to be taken to the milling place, and we'll get a machine to shell it. We could shell it by ourselves, but that's a lot of time. So I'm thinking if I can pay, I don't know how much they charge. Was it like 60 bob? 60 bob per bag? Was it 60 bob per bag? Is it 600 per bag? I think I'll find out what it is, but maybe for 1,000 Kenya shillings, someone can come and shell all these. There's those I've showed you. There's some that are out here. There's some that are still in the garden. There's these ones here. The problem I had found with the zucchinis, we had found this place to have squash bugs, and so two plants looked like they were dying. They actually were dying, and one was like two of them were fully infested with squash bugs. Like they were all over the place. I watched a couple of YouTube videos on how I can deal with squash bugs. You know, mix this, mix garlic, mix it carbonated soda, and all these things. So now, before I even tried this, Kabos works at the farm here. He suggests and tells me try ash, like wood ash. So like charcoal, after the charcoal is burned out, try that ash, just pour it around the plant, even on the leaves of the plant where you may see those things. So I'm like, okay, just give it a try. So he started last week on Friday. He came and poured those around here, and then guess what, guys? It's like magic. These things have disappeared here. I can see them around, like they're in those places, in these things hiding, but there's none here. Well, there's one there, but it's not on the plant. So this plant was the plant that I showed you that was dying. Look at it. It's coming back. There's another one here. It's coming back, and you see it's tiny. It's tiny. It's like really tiny, but it's coming back to life. I mean, that's so cool. So we'll just keep trying this as the rains come. I think they'll also deal with some of these things. The population of these things will kind of go down. But look at the difference between these zucchinis and that one. This one here and that one. This one was the next to be attacked, but it wasn't attacked. That one wasn't attacked. So we kind of pour them a little on the leaves and some over. But guys, these things have disappeared. I can see one or two, but none on the plants. You know, I don't see any on the plants. So it's something worth trying. We want to see how it will affect the leaves. We don't want to put too much of it. We just want to put enough that it deals with these guys and keeps them off the plants. Now there's one there. There's one there walking. There's one there walking, but it's not on the plant. And when I turn the leaves under, there is no eggs. I can't find any eggs. There's no eggs. That's the coolest thing. So I'll keep you guys updated if the ash works and these guys grow and I don't see any infestation. Then that could be a remedy, a natural remedy for squash bugs that you guys could try out. That's the ash. Now, I'm yet to prove it. I'm not saying it works, but it's working. It's working right now. There's so many volunteer plants coming up, mostly beans in this area. We had planted beans here, so there's mostly beans just springing up in different places. And weeds. Now, we mulched. The mulch wasn't thick enough. Look at that. So I'm going to make a stir-up hole and we'll just clear these guys before they get huge enough for us to take care of. So we have a lot of weeding to do next week. I have to come up with different methods. I think compost would have been the best solution to this, like just covering the beds with compost. Now compost is money and resources, so of course we'd need tons and tons of compost to cover up these beds, which is okay if you can afford to buy the tons of compost. You guys can see the green all over this place. It's cool, isn't it? Now the grass is growing so vigorously, but it's also neat. That's all the highlights I have for you this week. I've not done much at the farm except try to slash that because we want to put it down, and that it's raining here, and hopefully the rains will be for a long time. Well, I've read about El Nino, and they've said the last time there was an El Nino here, it was heavy rains and there was floods wherever there was poor drainage and all that. Dams get full and overflow, lakes get full, like it's this intense rains. Guys, that's it for week number 9, and I hope to see you guys in week number 10, where we'll be doing a lot of things. I'm sure if there's not many activities, I'll talk about a book or books that I've read and books that I'm reading and what I've learned from each of the books, and books that you guys can pick up and read on farming. I'll see you guys next week.